abilities through the power of video games. And in 2018, we had the honor of helping many incredible gamers. For Connor, we needed to find a more comfortable solution to the standard mouse and keyboard setup that he was using previously. Able Gamers was able to set Connor up with a special keyboard with increased key size and a clearer, easy-to-read font, as well as a really cool, much more ergonomic mouse that was able to get him right back in the game. In Ryan's particular case, he could no longer use the standard keyboard and mouse setup he had used in the past due to pain and discomfort brought on by his multiple sclerosis and fibromyalgia, so Able Gamer stepped in to help get him the perfect controller to suit his needs. His new controller featured extended thumbsticks, modified trigger sensitivity, grip pads, and a rearranged button layout, and gave him a much more comfortable way to continue to interact with the medium he loves. Gaming accessibility doesn't really have a one-size-fits-all solution, however, and sometimes it takes a couple tries to get it just right, as was the case with AJ. AJ has cerebral palsy, a condition that makes holding and using a standard controller difficult. The first controller we gave AJ wasn't a perfect fit, so we went back to the drawing board to make him the perfect controller, which ended up being a much better fit and got AJ back in the game, destroying his opponents. In the process, we found out that AJ's fiancée Regina, a gamer who also lives with cerebral palsy, had taken to the first controller, and now they're able to play games together in ways that they were unable to before. It's stories like these that inspire us to create more, and all of this was only possible thanks to the love and support of the generous Able Gamer supporters like you, who are with us every day in the belief that gaming is for everyone. Together, we're changing the world so everyone can game.
All right, there we go, guys. That is a wonderful update. That was an update from what did that say it was 3 years ago, 2019. So yeah, so not too bad. But that is something that the Able Gamers does for folks with disabilities. They work with folks who have disabilities to better their quality of life through the power of video games, to break down the social and economic barriers. And to do that through video games, they work with folks who have disabilities to find controllers or peripherals that best are adapted to that person's disability. So again, some folks may have multiple sclerosis, some folks may have other situational things that are brought on by either stroke or heart attacks or something like that don't make them as 100% as they used to be, I guess you could say. Now, there's also the folks who were born with disabilities, or who gained their disabilities through a freak accident, or those who served in the military who are coming back home and are now disabled because of, IED bombs or some other attack that they experienced overseas. And those folks who come back and are disabled, or those who gained their disability after birth, or even those who those folks may have played video games before but never but now with their disability they may not be able to play the same way that they used to. Those who were born with their disability may never have actually got to experience a video game outside of just watching, like on Twitch, or watching their friends or their family members play, and just wanting to get into the game themselves, and they can't. That's what Able Gamers does. They help provide those controllers and peripherals that can help get them into where they need to be. There's a wonderful gentleman by the name of Steven Spawn. It's when you look at his name online, it's Steve, the word in, like I'm going in this place, and then spawn, as in this is the spawn point. His actual name is Steven Spawn, but spelled differently. And he is the editor-in-chief of Able Gamers, and he himself is a full quadriplegic. He has little movement in his fingers, but he's bound to his wheelchair. He's got he can't actually breathe on his own. He's got to have a breathing apparatus all set up and whatnot. So there's a lot that's going on with him already, but he was trying to get into gaming, and not being able to move your arms and whatnot, you just have little movements in your fingers. They had to figure out what would be best to work with him, and that's why they were able to find these wonderful peripherals that plugged into an existing like Xbox 360 controller, and they set up these buttons that would automatically go ahead and do exactly what needed to be done. And he, with the little movement that he has in his fingers, it worked. It allowed him to play the video games that he loves and kick ass, and he still does this to this day. He plays games like what am I blanking on? Rocket League. I don't know why I was blanking on that. But he plays Rocket League. He plays a bunch of other games as well. And with the controllers options set up that he has, it does a wonderful job doing what it needs to do. So your donations help do that. And then also, Able Gamers works directly with developers. They work to drive the question, what about accessibility? What about accessibility? You know, how can we make our game accessible to those who have disabilities? Well, one of those ways is by button mapping. Another way is by providing a color palette change for those who may be partially partially blind, color blind, or whatever have you. You know, and that is sort of like if you've ever played Destiny 2, you notice that that they have a colorblind mode set up in there, and you can set the colorblind mode for the mode that you are. So if you can't see reds will be taken out of the equation, and it'll be replaced with a different color that's not red. And the entire color palette then changes to match that. That kind of thing. So that's kind of the cool things that they look into. Yo. So yeah, so that's everything that the Able Gamers does. If you would like to help us out today, we have $1,000 goal. We're only at $20, but we just started the campaign. I'd say middle of last week. So if you want to help us out today, follow that donation link and donate today if you can. If you are not able to because you're financially pressed, or you're saving up money for something else, I completely understand. Take care of you and your business first, and after you've taken care of you, your family, your everything that you need to take care of, if you have a little bit extra you would like to help, would like to donate, then that's great. We would love to have you donate and help out wonderful people trying to go ahead and enjoy video games just like you and I. And again, if you don't feel like donating at all, regardless if it's now or later, grab that donation link and share it with folks. Help educate and inspire others, and maybe they will donate in your place, or they'll continue the process of inspiring and educating others to donate in their stead as well. So one way or another, the more that we share and get the word out about what Able Gamers does, the more that more people know about it, the more people will be inspired about it, and the donations will come thereafter. That's all we got to do, is we educate, we inspire, and if we can't inspire, then we share, and we continue the education, and we continue to inspire others. And that's what this team, the Good Cause Crusaders, is all about. And all we got to do is try. We don't have to go ahead and hit that number. We can come short. We can come up so short. I can end this campaign and at the end of the month and only have $150, and I would be happy with what we got. That's what happened earlier this year when I ran the campaign for just the weekend. I only raised $150, and you know what? That's still better than what they had before. That's half of a full controller. Here's something else. Another little tidbit about Able Gamers. They helped design the Xbox Adaptive Controller. If you guys have seen that, the Xbox Adaptive Controller is this thin, like I would say it's probably about the size of, as far as its height is concerned, I'd say it's about the size of the original NES controller, maybe just a wee bit bigger. But it has a small directional pad, and then from there it has two giant freaking buttons, and on the back of it, it has hookups to where you can hook up other peripherals, other buttons, to do other things. So you can hook up a thing that would mimic the X button, another thing that would hook up that would mimic the A button, another one for the B button, another one for the so on and so on and so forth. And you can just sit there and just hook a whole bunch of different things up to it and have a whole range of buttons just set up for a person to use, and that's exactly how it would work. And it's so interesting. You're starting to get a bit bored. I'm sorry, John. This is something that we do. We educate and we inspire. And granted, I understand that I get a little long in the tooth about some of these things, but this is some of the things that we do here on the channel. We play games, we educate and inspire about our charity, and we just hang out and have fun. If that's something that you like, then great. If not, I'm sorry. Oh, don't run away. Oh, shit. Oh, hell's bells. Ha 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 ha. Exactly right. Exactly right. And the thing is when we help them out, eventually they help us out. Whether that be in video games, whether that be something completely different, who knows? Ah, crap. Ah, no. Come on, puppers. That'll teach you. No, I got what you're saying, John. I got what you're saying. But it's not about that. What it's about is helping people. Okay. And that's something else we do. We help. We raise money for kids, on top of helping those who are less fortunate than us when it comes to being disabled and whatnot. And all we can go ahead and do is educate, help you guys understand where they're coming from, help you understand what we can do to help, whether that be monetarily or that mean educating and inspiring others about organizations like Able Gamers, or folks like the Starlight Children's Foundation, or St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. We that's what we do, and I understand that is not something that a lot of folks can get behind. And if that's not something that you can get behind, then I completely understand, and I appreciate you stopping on in. Thank you for the follow. we hope to go ahead and see you next time if need be. But again, if not, then hey, and that's that. It is what it is. I hope that if you're still if you're still searching for someone to watch, there's a bunch of other folks online. But thank you very much for your time. I appreciate you. Those of you who are still here, who still are listening and are having fun, thank you guys so much. I'm glad that I'm able to provide you with some bit of entertainment, even if that is half-assed entertainment. So, thank you very much. What we do here is we try to have fun, and I try to help educate you guys as to some of the things that I'm passionate about, and I've had my hand, I've had a helping hand in with the Able Gamers charity for the past couple years. I've helped my friend Skizzle the Wicked, who is also a partially disabled gentleman. He's deaf in his right ear, left and blind also in his left eye, and while his disability doesn't prevent him from playing video games, it does give him a slight disadvantage over everyone else. But he had a brother who was bound to a wheelchair, and his brother had found Able Gamers sometime shortly before his passing, and then shortly before his passing, Skizzle himself actually found out what Able Gamers was and wanted to learn more, and was starting to talk to his brother about it and everything. And then one day, his brother was coming home from the store. They say the most accidents happen 5 blocks from home, and he was on his way home from the store, and someone hit him and ran. And that is the most horrible thing in the world. Number one, to find out that your family member or a relative, family member, friend, whatever have you, was not only killed accidentally more often than not, but the person didn't even stick around to take responsibility. If they stuck around to take responsibility, I'm sure the sentence would be a much lighter if they were found, caught, and put on trial, found guilty, and then sent to jail, because then they're sticking in jail for a lot longer than maybe 2 to 4, 5, 10 years tops, right? Especially depending on the state or country, wherever have you. So just think about those kinds of things. But it was then that ever since that happened, though, it was always the thing that Skizzle would try to do what he can. Yo, Dragon, what is going on? How you doing, bud? But it was something that Skizzle was always done to try to raise awareness about Able Gamers. And over the past couple years that he's been streaming, like I have, or rather, he's probably streamed a little bit more than I have, honestly. Yo, Dragon! I hope you're doing well tonight, bud. He over the past couple of years, he's raised quite a bit of money for Able Gamers, and just before my oldest daughter was born, I actually went out to California to meet him and our old Destiny crew, and actually got to hang out with him. I got to help with the charity live, and it was a 24-hour event. And we kicked some butt. Maybe didn't kick as much butt as what we did the previous year or years, but we still had some fun. And hungover from football Sunday, just waking up. There you go. But yeah, so we so Skiz always has always gone ahead and done that, and and over the past couple years, like I said, I've had my hand in helping him, either from my current station where I'm at now, or going there and helping direct, and knowing that he and I are still friends, and that he has the charity set up to where anything that he gets on his channel, half of everything that he gets donated to Able Gamers. He lives out in California, so every little bit of extra helps both. Whereas I'm in Ohio, and our cost of living here is a lot less than what it is there. So that's why with me, I'm not doing the whole half and half thing. I'm doing the full thing. Anything that's donated doesn't even come to me. I doesn't even touch my hands. That's why we have Tiltify. Tiltify does all of our stuff there. All right, where is this thing? It's got to be around here somewhere. Hang on here for me, chat. I'm trying to find this. Yo, Dragon, thank you for the sub, buddy. Appreciate you, bub. Let me go back over here to my... Yeah, I'm zoomed in. It should be... I'm looking at this right. Should be right there.